Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. If you're new, I'm Jessica and I am really excited to work in a brand new journal and I'm going to bring you along today. And this is a journal that I made, I think last summer. I could be wrong, but I have been having trouble getting into journaling like creatively on my own time. And I think sometimes starting a new journal is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean I'm not going to go back to my old journals and finish them, but I think I just needed kind of a fresh start. So that's going to be a little tip to you if you're having a hard time getting into journaling, you have journals available and you want to, maybe just try starting from scratch or making your own journal. I have a lot of journal tutorials on my channel here. And in case you're new, I do make handmade journals that I sell once in a while. I send to my Patreon members, but I have a lot of free tutorials. All of my tutorials here are free, so you can also learn to make them on your own. And today I'm going to show you how I like to play in my journals. I also recently set up some journal prompts that I sent out with the journals that I just recently sold. And it just has some very simple journal prompts, which I'm going to use one today to help me get started. I also asked ChatGPT to help me come up with a journaling concept to kind of get me motivated. I'm going to show you, I'm not going to use exactly this, but I wanted to ask you, I know there's some strong thoughts about ChatGPT, but I have been using it as just a bit of a tool to actually help take off some of my workload but just when it comes to things like thumbnail photos, writing up my descriptions, gathering links, things that hopefully is not going to take away from any of my own style. So feel free to give me feedback on that. I am stretched very thin and I do need a bit of help and I have been finding it helpful. So let me know your thoughts too. Would you like to see me do like a ChatGPT picks my journal spread challenge, or my journal gives me a journal challenge, something like that? And I completely will respect if you are totally against this idea. Again, I would never use it to like completely design anything for me or anything like that. But enough said about that. I'm going to be using some items that I got in a beautiful haul from Paper Tabby on Etsy. I'll have the link below. And I did show this in a recent haul. I went through everything, but there's just gorgeous bits and pieces, and I'm going to be using some just to create a spread. I'm going to probably have like a secret journaling spot because I want to journal. I just showed you. So basically the picture I showed you, it was giving me an idea that I could do a journal spread that basically is talking about, a challenge that I had that I overcame, and I could do two different spreads on one. It could be about the challenge, and then one could be kind of the page where I talk about how I overcame that. I might do something similar, but I'm also pairing that with number 9 on the list, and I'm just going to cross these off as I go. I'm not going to do them in order. Number 9 says, what does growth look like in your life right now? So I'm gonna do a little heart next to it so I remember that's what I will be writing about. But other than that, I'm gonna have fun with the decorating. Now, I have a hard time using up some of my beautiful ephemera pieces, so I actually did make a printable, and I made sure none of these were printables that were, they're not already printables. They're vintage items, so I'm not sure where I'll have that, if I'll have it available, but I printed it out for my own use for right now. So let's go ahead and open up our journal. I kind of think that I'm just going to go from front to back, chronological here. But there's already some decoration happening in here. I do want like a bit of a blank spot to start with. So actually, I might take that back. I might actually start maybe something like this actually. Okay, so skip that. I'm just gonna start right here. And I do like to typically use both pages on a layout. I do plan to use pictures in this journal at some point too, but today I'm not going to have any pictures. This journaling is kind of about me, and it would be kind of nice if I had a picture of me printed out, but Okay, so I picked some of my favorites that I had scanned, and I did print them out. So I'm not really sure. I might keep the scan for later, or I really wish there wasn't wobbling happening. The flower and the little animals are so cute. So let's see. I'm basically just gonna kind of start playing around, picking some pieces that I know I want to use. I love this wallpaper, so I know that I'm gonna use that in some way. And oh, I do also really like this pink envelope. Could do something like that. And there's all kinds of really cute vintage papers in here. Okay. I recently saw Cara Brandon do a hidden journaling spot idea. Now, she did this idea long ago, but she kind of revamped it, and I was thinking that that might be a cool way to add my secret journaling. If I were going to add this, is it okay? I feel like maybe I'm going to. I would want to do it on this side. And I don't love this background, so maybe something like that. And then I know that I want to maybe include this, one of these, one of those. Okay, let's get started with this. I think I am going to use the original, and I am going to turn this into a secret journaling spot. So I'm gonna get me some scrapbook paper. I'm just going to look through and, oh, this one will do. Actually, wait, maybe I'll go with more yellows. That's kind of cute. I may be overthinking this, but that's okay. I'm gonna just go with whatever I want. We'll use that piece. All right. And for size, I am actually going to cut this down a bit. I'm going to just cut off the white border, and I think that will give us the perfect size. If you want to see Cara Brandon's full tutorial of her secret journaling spot idea, whoops, that was a bit crooked, I will have that linked below. And I'm just going off memory, so I may not have it exact, but I have an idea for what will work at least. All right, so I'm gonna grab an index card for this. And I wish I had some colored index cards, but I think I don't. That's okay though. Look through my little bits and pieces to see if there's anything. Actually, I think this will be the perfect size. Okay, now, if I remember correctly, we need a second card that is the exact same size. Now, she used a scan of a postcard, so she used the front of the postcard and the back, which that would be perfect for two pieces that are the same size, but I will improvise here. And I'm just using this as a little guide. Okay. Now, the scary part is that we're going to chop a piece off here. And since the cat is on this side, I think I can actually just cut right across there. I am going to put that through my trimmer, so I'm just going to do that off camera real quick. And I will just chop it right across. That way we at least have one line that is straight. So that might feel odd to do, but I would try not, maybe don't cut it right in half, but almost like 1/3 to 2/3, if that makes sense. Then we're going to take our index card. Okay, I'm trying to remember exactly. You want your index card to be smaller because you want it to fit in a little hidden pocket. So I think it's easiest to demonstrate this by first gluing on the pocket. So this side is going to be the pocket. She does a way better job at explaining. So again, if you want to go watch her full tutorial, please do. Tell her I sent you. I'm trying to use the smallest amount of glue because you want kind of the most space in your pocket that you can have. It might even be fun to sew around the edges, but we'll just start with this. And I have to apologize. Anytime I move my table, my tripod is going to wiggle, and I'm not sure how to work around that, but I'm trying here. Okay, there we go. So I'm hoping you can kind of visualize this now. So the index card needs to fit in here. So I'm going to cut off a little bit like this. I'm even going to cut off the tiniest amount across, just because when that glue dries, it might spread out a little, and you need this to fit like all the way in the pocket. I'm just trying to figure out where to glue this. You know what? I think a good way to do this is actually, so create your pocket first. Put your index card in here because we're hand making this, so where it fits, it's going to vary a little bit. Then we can go ahead and add glue to this part right here, although I'm going to flip mine around because I want all of the lines to be on the back side so that I have enough space to write. Just need enough to glue your top back on, and just also you're making sure that you are lining it up. Like I have some plants that I cut through, and you want to go ahead and try to line that up as perfect as you can, because that's what's going to help give the illusion that it's one single piece of paper and not chopped off. There we go. Okay, so, and I know this is upside down, I'm just working with it the best that I can here. Okay, so I'm going to put that back in so I can now show you. And I feel like depending on how tight your pocket is, you might have to wiggle it out a bit, but there we go. So essentially we're going to have it on the page here. And I mean, yeah, you can see the little slit, but you kind of get the point. And then you pull it out like that. And then I'm going to have my writing on the back like that. Okay, so we have that done. I'm going to do all of my actual journaling at the end. I might do some journaling on this side and this side. They're both going to be hidden, but I think, yeah, I will be journaling about like what I overcame, or my growth. And yeah, sorry, my words don't work when I'm also doing stuff. Okay, I'm going to take everything off here because it's starting to feel a little overwhelming, and we're just going to focus on finishing the left page. And I do love this paper for the back, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue that on. Ooh, I'm kind of thinking maybe of making a belly band on the right hand side. Okay, now this glue, if I don't smooth it out, you might actually be able to see the wrinkles a bit. So I'm gonna go like that. And I like the top of the paper where it like was tore off the spiral, so I'm gonna keep that on. Whoops. I'm just gonna trim the bottom and let that excess on the side stay there for now. I like how that looks. Okay. So then, now we can either glue our card down and you'll be able to pull this out still. You can really see those wrinkles on camera right now, but I'm just gonna set it there for right now because I could also create like a pocket and it would appear like it's just a pocket, but really it's a hidden journaling spot as well. Okay, I'm just looking through some of my stuff now. Okay, so I would like to make a belly band, and I think I'm going to use this gorgeous wallpaper. So I'm just gonna measure this. I'll cut that off. But I want to add some things to it. I think I have to use these flowers, but I don't know if that's too much floral, but is there ever really too much floral? Nah. Ooh, there's some cute yellow lace, which, dang, I could add to this as well. I wonder if I could cut that in half and it would be obvious that it was cut. I could also add it to the top of the page here. I might do that. Something like that. I kind of want to see if I have like a small envelope, or actually this little like receipt thing is cute. Maybe I'll just make like a little cluster. Gosh, part of me really wants to use this card too, but I think that would be too much going on, so I'll save that for a different day. Okay. This is kind of a cute little foldable envelope. I could put this in, but we don't have to worry yet about what I'm going to put in there, under the belly band is what I'm trying to say. Ooh, some tickets. Yeah, maybe I'm just gonna make a little decorated cluster. Actually, I think I liked this. Kind of like that. Yep. I want to grab a little cheesecloth. I have some over here somewhere. No, I don't. I have some over here somewhere. Okay. We will just take some. Try to unfold it a bit. Whoops. It's very messy. Could this piece be any better? There we go. I feel like if you pull cheesecloth apart not just right, it can just become a big old mess that's hard to use. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with something like this. Yes, like that. Okay, so I had a phone call that I thought stopped my filming, except it didn't, but then I took it off the tripod. So it's been only 2 minutes and I've already rethought everything. Oh boy, guys. So I think I'm actually gonna just have this be over here somehow. I haven't figured that out yet. And then I'm going to continue the decoration of the belly band. I'm thinking that maybe I'll use this cute little card. Yeah, actually, and we'll keep it open so that it can actually open. We're gonna put a couple staples in the card like that. And then this is just gonna go down on our little belly band. As I realize this has a little date on it. we'll just glue that down, kind of like that. And if I want, I could cover any part of the card, but I think if I did any journaling on here, I'll just do it on the inside. Okay, like that. And then we will just go ahead. I like using staples in my journal, but feel free, you don't, not that you are recreating this, but feel free to always use whatever you like. I am just going to staple the belly band on like that. Okay. Then we're going to come over here, and I think I'm just gonna glue this down. In fact, why not make it a pocket, because we can. I guess I didn't need to use a pretty background, but I wasn't quite sure what I was going to be doing with that, so that's okay. Like that. Okay. Right. Yes, because the little hidden part, it's its own little piece. And then I'll just staple this to the top as well. I'm throwing things around now. Then one more. Okay. Now I'm thinking of just putting this down, but I feel like I want one more thing on the page. Oh, I think I found it. Yes, that's a cute little label. And I am actually going to put the date on it. And I think I'll just do my, well, I was gonna say my handwriting, I will, but I have someplace a little stamp. Here we go. And we'll just stamp this on. Okay. And this is for 25/25, and it's Friday. Very cute. And it actually has the tiniest little hole. I want to poke that out. It might be cute to put a little bit of string in that. In fact, just for convenience, I'm going to take there was another little tag, and I'm just going to take the trim out that was in that and put it over here. And we'll just do our best to pull that through like that. We'll glue this down. Like that. You know, it's just a spread, a layout with things that I like. Sometimes I think that we feel like if we're going to do a journal layout that it has to have massive meaning or thought or, you know, look Pinterest-y. But really, I think that you can get so much out of even just the process that sometimes you need to trust yourself and just do what feels good. And I do think that it can help when you are working with supplies or things that you really like. So that's another little tip, is work with supplies that you like. Okay, I'm trying to remove my double-sided tape from this because I believe I will use this for my other space of journaling. I think I got it off well enough. Now maybe I will put a little tab or something on the paper here. Let's see. I did not expect that I would actually just be using the items that I had here, but honestly, it was so easy to do that. Oh, cute. Okay, I'm gonna use a little blue ticket and just a little piece of, I'm not sure if this came from a card or what, but it's cute. Just going to layer those. And let me figure out where I would like to put it. Trying to figure out where it should go. Okay. I think I'm gonna just put it over here. There we go. And once again, staple. Oh, how cute. I'm going to do my journaling off camera, and then I'll come back and show you the final layout. Okay, I'm all done with my journaling, so I'm just going to slip it under here. Now, I loved the idea of adding a photo of myself to this spread, so if I can print one out in the next couple days, I'm gonna put it right in here. But I just wanted to add a few last minute things. I want to take my pink ink just to kind of tie everything in together. I'm just gonna add a little bit with a stencil just for some final detail. Maybe a little bit more on the edge here. Yeah, liking that. And a little bit up here. And I feel like I wish I would have added a little bit of this ink to the edges, but that's okay. We'll just kind of work with that. Okay. All right. Part of me is like wanting to have one more thing right here. It does have a little spot for a stamp right here. I'm gonna take a peek because sometimes I have special little stamps that I hold on to for things like this. Found a little thing of stamps here. Ooh, butterfly might be good. Actually, I think a butterfly would be cute because there's a butterfly on here. How cute. I'm just gonna go for it. And I think now I'm starting to feel like it's probably almost complete. This felt really good. And not gonna lie, it's making me want to do more journal spreads. And that's exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, so I think I want to put a little tag. If you remember, I made this into a pocket. So I'm gonna take just some leftover ink here, just around the edges. In fact, maybe even a little bit of the stencil. And try not to shake you too much. And I have a pretty sticker here. I think I'm going to try something new where I have a little box that I will put anything special that I think is just super cute. I mean, I have boxes all around that have things that I like, but I'm gonna have one journaling box and anything that I'm like, I know I want to use this in a spread. It inspires me in some way. It's really cute. And then when I'm doing journal spreads like this, I will have that box available to me. So that's an idea for you as well. I'm just trying to get this on there. You know, any special cute stickers that you really like or pictures printed out, things like that. And I think I want to add some kind of top to this. In fact, I'm just gonna cut, because I need it to be skinnier, a little piece of this ribbon to finish off our spread. My scissors don't want to cut this. Okay. I love the colors in this spread. I hope that you guys got some kind of inspiration from it. I'm coming up on finishing one of my journals that I'm going to do a full flip through of real soon. There, I think that's pretty cute. I can always take that out if I want, but here it is. I feel like it's pretty simple. It's, you know, I could have added more, but I like it, and the journaling felt great. And then we have our secret journaling spot right here where I do my journaling. I could always add something here, but I feel like it's gonna be tucked away most of the time, so we'll just keep it like that. It's not too hard to line up, but it might take a minute. There we go. Yeah, okay guys, have a great day, and thank you so much for hanging out. Bye-bye.